Hey, yo! Hey, yo!
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Come on in.
Welcome to the Tristans Show. I saw that some of you were already in your seats,
You ready to go?
anxiously awaiting.
What?
Let's see. I see
Exciting.
Diane and Beth
Hi.
and Jackie. Hello, hello. Oh, here it goes. There, look at us, look at us.
We are live at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Welcome, friends. Great to be with you. Can you believe this is episode number 7?
Look how cool it is. I can see us right there.
What? I see us right here, and we see you right there. Hi. So let me fire up the old Facebook so we can pop in and say howdy, howdy. Oh, yeah, that's it. Now we got the echo effect.
All right.
All right. Well, welcome.
Awesome.
So guess what?
Guess what?
What are we talking about today? Tell me.
Well, before we talk about that, we just want to say we are having newer technology tonight. We're using the same camera that we used last week. Last week we had a couple of glitches. We think we figured it out. We're going to see how that goes. But just know if the picture freezes or something, we're working on it, man. We're just a husband and wife in Texas trying to figure all this out.
50-year-old hustlers. We're not influencers and we're not millennials. We're working on it. We got spectacles and everything, but we're doing this darn thing.
In our house.
In our house with our dogs. All right.
So tonight's episode is called That's Where I Draw the Line.
That right there is the line.
And let's just talk about what does that usually mean. It usually means I can put up with this, I can put up with that, but that's where I draw the line. Or it might be something with drinks, right? Well, I can have wine, but I draw the line there. For some people, it's like, well, I'll do this bad habit, but I draw the line there. Rarely do we say I draw the line with a good habit.
That's right. Funny? That's true.
Which is great. Don't draw the line. Have it exponential. Go, go, go.
We're going to have an interesting line conversation. Do you happen to have a photo that goes with our experience?
Yes, but I will not show it yet.
But you have it for later?
Uh-huh.
Okay, you're so awesome.
I am.
You're so prepared.
I am, but I don't have great hair.
What?
So
let me borrow that for a second, please.
Okay.
I won't do anything with it.
So everywhere we go, and we'll get back to the drawing the line. Everywhere we go. Well, first, let me start by saying that everywhere that I used to go, I would get compliments.
There you go.
Especially on my hair.
You did.
Oh, you have beautiful hair. Wow.
You still get them. A lot about your skin. People like your skin.
No, usually my legs. That's what gets it.
You got nice legs.
Ever since we've been together and increasing every year, it feels like the men admiring Tristan's hair outwardly, verbally, publicly is just crazy.
It happens.
At the gym, at the airport. And I just reconnected last night with like the very first love of my life, and this super, super nice guy, and
really great.
His name's Tom. And
Tom.
If Tom finally got to virtually meet Tristan, and one of the first things he said, he goes, baby. Tell him I have hair envy. And of course I was expecting Tom to say, Sabrina, you look great. Your hair looks amazing. And so we were cracking up because it's like, nope, it's always Tristan.
It's all about that hair, No problem. Yeah.
No, I love it. I told him 15 years ago I'd marry him for his hair. So, right?
It worked.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for this wig.
His daddy had a lot of hair.
Hi, Jackie. Hi, Kim.
But enough
Hi,
about that.
Amy. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We're talking about lines and certain lines that we cross and certain lines that we don't cross.
Right. So, here's what happened. Did you take that picture, or am I keeping
I actually put it over here, too.
Oh, you're going
to... I mean, if you want to talk about it, I'll go ahead and share it.
No.
Not yet. I'll wait. No. I will wait.
I'm going to go get my director megaphone.
Okay, you do what you got to do.
So...
Chicken charge.
I know it seems like we always talk about our neighbors, and we don't, but we are going to talk about them again.
We're going to talk about
we have neighbors on two sides, and on one side, the family had to move out because they needed a one-story house for some health conditions, and it's a two-story. And this other family moved in, and she's a doctor, and he owns restaurants. So they're rarely home. You know, they're very, very busy business people.
Yeah.
And so their grass got kind of high, and so did ours, because it's just been, we've been
Raining
blessed
like
with
crazy.
so much rain. For it to rain this much in Austin is such a gift, such a blessing. So, you know, the grass was getting it pretty darn beautiful, like I think 10 inches tall.
It was tall.
Where Bentley, every time he went out, I think he thought he was on a safari. He was like moving through the blades of grass.
This little dog about this tall. That's how tall the grass was.
And so the new neighbors hired a new, I guess, landscaping, new gardeners who cut their grass. First time, right? So they obviously don't know everything. And then 2 or 3 days later, our guy, who's been helping us with our yard for many years, he came to cut our grass. His name is Jose, and he cut the grass and blew the leaves, and he left. And the next morning,
Madeline said, do you think the neighbors are watching?
My father is really concerned about that, Madeline. What
It'll be
if
all
the
right.
neighbors are watching? And so I went out the next morning, and I thought, what, that's all, what? And I went over and I looked, and Jose knew exactly where our property ends, and he is so accurate, and he cut our grass right where our property ended.
Yes, he did.
Unfortunately, the other gardener didn't know and was about, we think like 8 to 10 inches off of that. So the neighbor's grass was low, ours was high. Jose cut ours down low, except for this strip, a line that's like 10 inches tall of grass dividing it. And it would look so funny to me. I laughed my booty off, and I came in, I got Tristan and said, put your shoes on, you got to come and see this. And we were laughing and laughing.
We were laughing.
And part of the reason we were laughing was it's so embarrassing. We look so petty, right? We look so lazy.
Can I show them how petty we look?
Selfish.
Here's how petty we look. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second.
I hope you'll be able to see it in this photo. How it's just you can't tell how tall it is in that photo. It's really tall. It's over Bentley's head now. Yeah, right. And look at the tree, and there's a couple of other things. And
I mean, really, look at the height. I mean, it's a whole strip all the way down the yard. It's not just a little strip. It's all the way. And you know what? It's even bigger and taller now. And we don't know where it's taking us so long to cut it with scissors.
We don't have any gardening tools.
We don't have anything to cut it.
We have nail clippers.
Uh-oh. Our thingy. Let me see if my trick works. I took a photo of
There
us.
we go.
It worked.
Nail
Yay.
clippers, kitchen shears, and scissors. So we're opting with scissors. And probably by the time we finish, Jose will come back in 3 weeks.
We're not cutting it with scissors. Scissors can't cut grass.
Yes, they can.
You think? We're
Scissors
going to try
cut
it
grass.
later after. It'll be date night.
So we texted, Tristan called Jose and left a message.
Jose, come on, man.
And Jose texted me back. And he said, I've been doing your property for a long time. I know exactly where the property line is. I am sorry for your neighbors. And it was like a little gardener feud, right? Like that gardener didn't do enough. So our gardener was like going to show him where the property line was. Meanwhile, as the people who live in the house and pay the gardeners,
we're
we're
the
like,
ones.
So in 3 weeks, it's probably going to be like 2 feet tall strip, like
and
dividing.
People, we're in a cul-de-sac, so all the neighbors walk their dogs, and they walk by the house, and they're looking, probably going, what were they thinking?
How selfish.
How immature. You can't like just chop a little bit more grass for your neighbor? How unneighborly of you.
So we've talked about it. I've talked about it with Rita. That's on my mom that's probably here, and Keith. And it's like, so factually.
Thanks, Kim.
Jose is right.
Factually.
Right? Factually.
That's
so
right. That's right.
We pay him to do a job. His job is to cut our grass.
That's right.
We never ask him to cut the neighbor's grass.
Nope.
So, factually he is right, but then we said, what about right action?
There's a big difference.
And thinking about that, what is factually right versus what is right action? To me, what I would have loved and what we will share with him, just in case he finds this video, is it would have been great to knock, Trisprina. The new neighbors.
Everyone calls us Trisprina.
As a new gardener that doesn't know the dividing line, since it will take me 4 seconds to run my big lawnmower on that strip.
Is that okay?
And then will you tell them? And we would have said yes, and we'd love to pay you more. Like, there's not a problem with that. But it became more like a gardener's feud. So when that other gardener comes back, he's going to see where the line is.
You can make drama out of anything. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
You can have drama about just about anything. That's
so true. And we all get really serious about our little environments, our little work environments.
You get sucked into other people's drama, right? Mm-hmm. Like the gardener's drama.
We got sucked into it because then we started thinking like,
oh, I find it hilarious.
What are the neighbors? Tristan just went and knocked on their door. He just wanted to say, guys, sorry.
This is hilarious. I hope you know, like, if I had a lawnmower, I'd have cut it already. I'll try with scissors. Just make a joke out of it. They're like, ha ha ha. It's hilarious. And they just moved in, and we'll tell our gardener. I'm like, well, we already had a word with our gardener. It won't be happening again. It is just so funny. And you know what? It made a great excuse to go and say hi to the neighbors. So there. Well, I have a line.
What do you guys think? I'm actually curious. I don't feel that we can say, Jose he's right technically.
Well, that's the
legally,
thing, right?
He's right. And sometimes it might be like that with court, and I know parents with children and things like that. There's by the law right, and then there's the addition to that. What feels right? What feels in alignment? What feels like the most kind and loving thing to do? What feels like right action?
That's a great teaching, right? So there's all these rules, regulations, guidelines, laws. They're designed to help us make conscious decisions. Mm-hmm. But sometimes they don't fit the decision-making process, and you have to check in and ask yourself, what is right action for me? Because there's legal, and there's what's set in stone, and there's the HOA, right, homeowner association law and all that. Mm-hmm. But what is right action for us?
Yeah.
And that's where soul guidance comes in. We've got to check in, tune in, and ask ourselves, what's the most loving, conscious action that I could take right now? And so really sit with that. And sometimes it's uncomfortable, right? Because the status quo says that's wrong. But what if it's right for you? Yeah. To get up in the restaurant and say to that person, excuse me, that waitress is trying to help you. And it's obvious you're having a bad day, but maybe don't take it out on her. Like, sometimes that's right action, right? Like, and even right action for you, because maybe you need to stand up and have a voice. And that could be your opportunity to stand up for someone. I don't know what the scenario is, but I think it's important that we check in and ask ourselves, what's right action for me?
And it's always, I love that you say for me.
Yeah.
Because a couple of weeks ago, we talked about when that same neighbors trash can live.
Enough with the neighbors, man. Come on. Uh-oh. This thing is having its day.
What? Can you keep it open where I can see it?
It's open. Sorry about that, gang.
Where their recycling flew out of their bin and was like all over our yard, and I had to realize that it was for me to love picking up the trash. I compared it to picking up the doggy's poop and then carrying it proudly behind them.
Did we leave that bag today, or did I pick it up? I picked it up.
Yeah, you picked it up. And so it's always for us. Any act of kindness can seem to the world, we've been talking about this a lot, like it's for the other person. But it's always for me. When I did the charity event to help the abused children, it's like, I helped raise all this money for abused children. But I'm the one that felt the joy from it. It made me feel good. Yes, they benefited too. But the experience of joy, even the experience of giving is what makes us all feel good. And so for Jose, I felt like if he had mowed that strip of grass, he would have felt really good, because it had to have felt a little funny to be
it must have, right?
To be like, I think I'll leave that.
That must just feel so weird.
Like a snake, a porcupine snake is crawling through.
Can we show that grass again? I mean, this is just hilarious, right? I mean, come on. I won't do all the fancy background stuff again. I'm just going to, I got to show the grass one more time because come on, Jose, did you really, oops, it doesn't work like that. Did you really think
I should have gotten
that
down.
This was okay?
I should have laid down to take the picture so you could see how tall it is.
Jose, when you were cutting our grass, Jose, I hope you're watching this. You were like, yep, that's fine. Not a problem.
See you in 3 weeks.
Come on, man. You know that's wrong action. It's obvious. I mean, it looks kind of cute, but it's not.
If the other side had it too.
All right. Can I tell about my line thing?
Please.
All right. So I was asking Sabrina, let's dive into this whole thing about lines and right and wrong and how we draw lines in our lives around certain things that we believe, right? I drew a line years ago with this whole thing right now that many of us are on Facebook. I drew this line like, I don't get it. Social media seems like a waste of time, right? Everyone was saying, people don't care about what you had for lunch, man. They don't care about your dog and your cat, what you're doing. Well, gosh, I think they were wrong about that. It turns out that we do care. We want to connect. We want to feel closer. We want to bond. Yeah. And so there was this whole learning curve, and you may have experienced it. You might still be experiencing it. We have many students and clients who are like, I don't know where things are. I can't find them on Facebook.
Can I say something?
Please do.
I at first, I know a lot of people feel the way that we used to feel, like, why would anyone want to see me having breakfast and things like that? But as we studied the brain and learned more and more that the brain really works in pictures. And that's why it feels so good. Like, say you go and visit your grandchild, right? And you see his room and you see his toys. And then when you talk to him or you think about him, you can see him in that room with those toys and you feel closer, right? Or if you go and visit a friend and you are hanging out in their kitchen and then you talk to him and he goes, yeah, I'm just cooking. You can see that kitchen and you feel so close to them because as we use words, the brain uses words to draw pictures. And so that's one of the things I think that people love about Facebook. And when people are like, hey, I'm at the coffee shop, it's not necessarily, it's not like me. It's sharing a moment of life because a picture says so much more than trying to describe something with words.
True. If that stops, let me know.
Okay.
And I felt a little lost on this Facebook thing. And so I drew a line. I'm not going to do it. I've got an email list and there's people on the email and I'll communicate with them that way. And I'll go to the local dojo and we will bond and connect that way. But I'm not doing the Facebook thing, right? And so I had that line for a little while. And then my friends and others we know said, no, Facebook's awesome. You can really connect. You can have these groups. You can have a business page. And you can get something called social proof. So now this is kind of interesting stuff for those of you who are teachers or you're online and you're trying to gain visibility and get more clients, right? It's really great for that. You know that now. And you may struggle with that like we did. So for the longest time, all we ever did was we would go to what's called partners. And we'd say, hey, would you promote us? And we'll promote you. It's called affiliate marketing. And that's how we were seen, right? And so we did these handshakes between each other. It was really fun. But then we were like, but we've got our tribe is building. Oh, thank you. Look, that takes a funny picture, and then we're good to go. Just like that. We're still working on the tech. That's a whole other thing. I could draw a line. I'm not going to do it. But we want this to be even more beautiful for everyone, so we're going to figure it out. So we've moved the line further. Anyway, back to the Facebook and figuring out how to connect and bond with people. I had that line where I'm not going to use Facebook. Then, like I said, groups became a thing, and we were like, whoa. And there's video, and you can like do what we're doing now, and you can. I'm like, really? Can you really connect with people like that? Is it gonna feel authentic? Well, holy cow, it's amazing. It feels so beautiful. And you all look at what we're experiencing right now. We're in the chat. Here's Devin. Here's Madeline. You guys, Amy's writing. We're able to put it up on the screen. We're bonding. There's a beautiful community here, right? So that line got moved really far, and we leaned into it, and we're continuing to.
And now we teach it.
Right, because it works. It's a beautiful expansion of consciousness using this technological platform. Well, guess what? The millennials, they said, well, we're not going to be on Facebook so much anymore. That's for older people. And we're like, I guess we're older people. We're on Instagram,
Maybe
right?
our neighbors are on Instagram.
It might be. So there's all these people like Instagram. My little brother, he's on Instagram. Everyone's on Instagram. Now, some of you are on Instagram too now,
And
right?
they say, did you IG it?
Yeah, IG that.
Did you IG
Send me a DM, man. Check your bio and the profile link and all this stuff.
Direct
And
message,
swipe up
DM.
on your story. And we're like, we don't know. This is all a whole nother. And I drew another line. I'm not doing that. Facebook is where we play.
Yeah.
We spent the time here. Don't try to ride too many
Let the
horses.
grass grow tall between
us and Instagram. There's a big line of grass. And everyone keeps on, no, there's people there that they want to connect with you. And I'm like, okay, we're going to do it a little bit. And we met some people in London and they said, we'll help you. And so we did. And we've been flirting with it, right? So some of you have seen that there's pretty pictures now and there's cool little posts. But here's the thing. This is my line. I really don't understand Instagram very much. Like I do now, maybe a little bit more. But it didn't make sense to me. I couldn't bond with people the same way that I can here. I couldn't find things. The buttons didn't make sense to me.
It's like going for like trying to drive a stick shift.
Maybe you felt this, and some of you have tried the application, and it only really works on a phone or a mobile device, and the buttons, they just don't make sense at all. It's not like Facebook. Facebook makes sense, right? So my line is so freaking strong around this. And I'm watching some people, because we started studying it a little bit, and they're swiping, and they're going so fast. Do you ever feel that way when someone's trying to teach you something?
And some things only last 24 hours, and it takes me 24 hours to
just
get
to get it
on
up.
there.
And then it's gone. We're like, what? It's gone? No, it's too fast, right?
We sound old.
We do. But we're leaning in. Here's the line thing. So I'm like, no, I can learn this. I'm still, you can teach a old dog new tricks. I'm going to figure it out. So I'm studying with Sabrina, these people, and they're swiping and swiping and swiping. I'm like, I didn't even see what you did.
Yeah.
And not only that, sometimes young people, not just young people, but certain people don't teach very well. We always feel like, man, we should teach that. We're going to teach it a lot more clear. Anyway, the teaching's not great. So I have a dream. Not last night, the night before.
A nightmare.
It was a nightmare. I was stuck inside of Instagram. And there were like a bunch of rooms, and there were all these younger millennial types. They were in there, and they all knew the special passageways to get into the rooms where all the cool stuff was happening. This is what's happening in my subconscious, people. And you know what? It's true. There are places that you go through little doors and click on little buttons, and there's all this stuff happening. There's people connecting and sharing and helping each other and having the time of their life, and I don't know how to do it. And in my dream, I can't get in the silly little doors. And they're all shutting, and I can't get in. And I woke up in the morning, I'm like, Sabrina, this is my Instagram experience. I've got to consciously move the line. Mm-hmm. I drew a line, I moved the line. So guess what?
And it's funny because no matter how old we get or how many times we go through a learning process, a learning curve, being in an environment, being in a house, it's almost like being in a new city. Yeah. Right? You don't know where the mall is. You don't know where the Whole Foods is. Where's the gym? Where's this? Where's that? And you can't find anything. And then you get familiar with that particular environment, and then you're in another city.
Can you guys relate? Have you felt this way with Facebook? Here's the thing. Move the line within yourself, and doors open up. So
literally.
My next dream wasn't a nightmare, and I know the ways in all the doors now. And you know what? I figured out a bunch of stuff yesterday where it all started to come together, and it's making sense because I've moved the limiter or the line. I've removed it. I was saying very strong, I don't get it. Yeah. It doesn't make sense to me. It's for younger kids. And if you've been doing that in some way, and I think we all do, move the line, open the door of your consciousness, and guess what?
And it's not just learning. It's not just mental learning. It can have to do with physical capacity.
Totally.
Right? Like we took a group of people through our Happy Healthy Back program, and a big part of that mind body magic formula that we teach is, where have you drawn the line?
Yeah.
Right? This is the end of my property. This is the end of my health. Sorry for your body. Sorry for your neighbors. Right?
Stop drawing these lines.
And let's just move it. Let's move it and shift it. And sometimes you have to do it in a soothing way.
Sure.
Right? We say little by little.
Incremental steps.
Brush up against the discomfort. Try to just post
with the movements.
With the mind body magic, with the movement, you just you brush up against where you feel like you have pain. And the same thing with learning. It's like, well, let me just post this one thing. Okay, now let me learn to add an emoji. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see this 24-hour, just one little thing at a time.
Totally.
Because the overwhelm.
Yeah, and then the judgment that comes with the overwhelm. Like, I don't get it. And that door just shuts as soon as we say that. And then there's no room for opening, expansion, or possibility. Yep. So that's a lesson that I've learned about myself recently. And I just thought, you know what? I think that's a good share. It may be something that helps another human being to go, you know what? I think I need to lift that limiter up a little bit and make those incremental lean-in moments. See what you can do with it. And guess what? You're probably going to have no more nightmares and all kinds of awesome dreams, and you'll get to get in all the cool rooms where all the cool kids are playing.
Hey, we should have sung that song, Because You're Mine, I Don't Draw the Line.
Oh, is that the Johnny Cash? Or is that a different one?
That was supposed to be Johnny Cash.
I play it, but Facebook will shut it down because they always do. Devin says she most definitely can relate. My line is moving. Beautiful. Kim says, I keep moving the line. I walk the line. And Madeline says, cool, you figured it out. I just post. You know what? I think it was even you, Madeline, and I saw D. Terrell, and it might have been Kim, somebody else. You guys have been posting stories. And when you post your stories, you actually have links that you can click on inside your stories. I haven't been able to figure it out until this morning.
You figured it out?
I figured it out. I almost called you. I was like, if they are doing it, I can do it, right?
Hey,
do you ever feel
my
that
Instagram is Sabrina.Truscott, and his is Satori Method. If you're an IG.
Hi, Judith. And she says, I enjoyed playing with you on Instagram. It's actually really fun to learn new things. And the brain loves learning new. It loves novel. It loves challenges. And it's good for us to feel challenged, not shut down. So don't jump in the deep end per se.
And it's given us a lot of compassion, right? Because when let's say you have a recipe and you've been making this same cake for years, right? You don't even have to measure anything. And then somebody says, how do you make that cake? Oh, it's easy. That's just flour and this and that. And you're throwing things in the bowl and they're like, whoa, how much exactly? Do you pat it down or is it loose, right? Do you have to sift the flour or unsifted flour? At first you need so much detail so that some things can become automatic, huh?
I'm just putting some posts in. Madeline says, it's cool you figured it out. I just posted. So there's more? There's so much more. Lisa said, change is harder with age. OMG, that's me too. And I think it's a thought. It's an idea. We're still seeing people expanding and growing. There's something called neuroplasticity. We all have it. We can continue to learn and grow. Isn't that wonderful?
And it's so good for the brain, right? They suggest to a lot of people, learn a foreign language. Well, learning Facebook and learning Instagram is pretty much the same thing.
Yes, it is.
Learning a foreign language.
Hey, so
that good for
kudos to everyone who's here right now or watching the replay. If you have figured this out and you're showing up live and you're commenting, you didn't know how to do that in the beginning, remember? And you figured stuff out. And some of you have even gone live and you've started your own pages and your own groups. Awesome job. It's so cool. And if you've wanted to, keep going. You can do it. And we'll help you because that's what we do. We have, I just want you to know, this summer, a really cool training. Oh, and I don't even know how to change that. Okay. Look at all the garbity goop on the screen. Yay. It went away. We have a cool training coming up.
It was a blessing.
It has to do with using video like we are right now to connect with people. To maybe if you're a coach or a teacher or you do healing work, it's how you can get more clients. And we're going to do a free training this summer. One other thing I wanted you to know is that later this year, we're going to have a live event here in Austin. It's called our Big Life Breakthrough. And it sounds like, and I'm doing what's called sharing the cake, which I'm not supposed to, but oh well, too late. I've already told some of you. Sabrina and I are in conversation with some places to put on a live event. We'd love to have you come and join us. So I just want you to, kind of forward think. October, November. Maybe you'd like to come, and we'd love to play with you and have some
November
hugs.
is such great weather here.
Yeah, that's true. November could be really amazing. So we're
What
trying
if,
to
what if we
button
don't
it down.
cut that strip of grass until November? We could all walk through it like a safari because it'd be over all of our heads by then.
Anyway, think about if that resonates with you, come to Austin and do some Qigong with us, and we might even do a whole day on, some of the stuff that we do online to help serve more people. Cool?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
Madame, so that's it for the day.
Yep, we're going to have a little date night.
Date night time.
This is an interesting one. We're both going to go for date
yeah.
night, and then I'm going to come back home. I need to write some emails, and Tristan's going to go represent us at the Internet Marketing Party, which is held in a bar, and Sabrina does not like that environment.
I don't care for bars either, but there's a speaker that's coming that's really good, and I always go to learn more things.
I appreciate it. He goes to represent.
I take one for the team so that we can get better at what we do, because we want to keep learning and growing and improving.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you so much for showing up live, for commenting, for watching the replay and commenting so that we can hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
If you're watching this on our website or on our blog, thank you. And if you do want to interact, then you need to pop over to Facebook because there's no way to comment on the website.
We're always on Facebook. We're here every day.
We're in the Facebook.
Every day we're clicking likes and loves, and we're commenting, we're doing pictures and videos, and it's where we get to be with you, and it's wonderful. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Much love to you. Have an incredible Thursday evening.
And we'll see you next week to let you know what the neighbors have been up to. Just kidding.
We're on a roll here. Bye now.
Bye.